Everyone's talking about AI companies like Broadcom, Micron, and Nvidia, but I think there are several other stocks and ETFs that could benefit from the rise of AI and data centers. This isn't financial advice. These are just the stocks and ETFs I'm currently buying to try to cash in on AI. The first one is Photo. So this is the pure play photonics ETF. So photonics is a way to transfer data through light instead of using copper wires, and there's a lot of benefits of using this technology. So it hasn't really ran that much. It's still pretty cheap, and it's a brand new fund. It's about like 3 or 4 months old, so it is the most riskiest one on the list. So I would definitely do your own research, but there's a lot of companies that are trying to use photonics as the technology to transfer the data inside of these data centers. So definitely one to check out. It is pretty high with the expense ratio. That is the first one. The next one is one that a lot of people don't think about when they think of AI and data centers, and that is water. These data centers are going to need like 1 million gallons of water a day, possibly, maybe more, maybe less. But as the data centers get built and AI grows, we're going to need a huge upgrade to the water infrastructure. So this one is the only one on the list that I am up on, and it is the Global Water Index ETF. And this is also another way to diversify, because if the data centers was a bubble or it doesn't work out, still going to need water. So that is the Global Water Index ETF. There are other water ETFs, so I would do your own research. This is just the one that I came up with. The next one is directly related to data centers. This is the Global Funds Global Data Center and Digital Infrastructure ETF. This is a REIT, so this involves the buildings, the land, and like all the stuff in the data centers that isn't the chips. The top 10 holdings: American Tower, Micron's on there, AMD, Digital Realty Trust, Marvell, and it does pay a dividend, so 1.09 dividend. Expense rate is 0.5. And then this one is semiconductor ETF. This one is the most expensive one. It had a big run already this year. I still think there's room for growth. Right now it is down a good amount. I'm down about 7% total on this one. This one does barely pays a dividend. Expense ratio is 0.35. So definitely do your own research. But with the account size that I have, it really didn't make sense to buy a tiny bit of Nvidia, buy a tiny bit of Broadcom, and it made more sense for me to just go with an ETF that has all of these. So as the whole chip and AI industry grows, this ETF could possibly have a lot of growth left to do. Now the next one is Mara. I've been holding this one for a while. It's down a little bit today. I'm down a little bit overall, but it goes up and down. This is a Bitcoin mining company, but Bitcoin mining companies already have all the infrastructure and the massive amounts of computing power that these data centers are going to use. So Mara made some announcements saying that they are going to pivot from just Bitcoin mining and holding Bitcoin to building data centers. So Mara, and this one I have 100 shares on, so I do covered calls every week to make income with this stock. And then the next one actually announced a partnership with Mara, and that is MPLX. This is a natural gas pipeline, MLP. It pays a pretty high dividend, 7.35. If I look, my last dividend was 21. So it does pay a good dividend. And then these data centers are going to need a massive amounts of electricity and power. So one way for them to get power is with natural gas. So there should be more pipelines being built, and the more natural gas that goes through the pipeline, value of MPLX will go up, and then they will raise the dividend. So those are the 5 stocks that I'm currently buying to cash in on the data center boom. And I'm using the money that I make from my YouTube channel and affiliate marketing. So if you want to see my online passive incomes that I'm doing, check out this video over here.